Hello, everyone. I am starting my third year of retirement. And some people might say, how did you do that? How did you retire early? Well, I feel like there is 11 basic things that you need to know if you want to retire early, and we're going to talk about them today. So I hope you'll stick around for this video. If you don't know me, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income, plus I'm living off of savings, very sparingly touching my savings. So today we're going to talk about those 11 things because lately I have talked to several people that want to retire or are ready to retire or have just retired, and they still don't know if they're going to be able to make it financially. Well, there are some tricks and some tips and some hacks that you have to buckle down if you want to retire early. If you are not one of the 3% that have $1 million in savings and assets and stocks and bonds and all of those things, then you're going to be in the 97% that I am in, that is trying to make ends meet and still doing it comfortably. So let's talk about that today. The number one tip that I can give people who tell me this is to stop spending like you still are working. This is hard for some people. They have gotten used to a certain lifestyle, not really worrying about money because they know there's another check coming in a couple of weeks, and they buy as they want to rather than how they probably should. Most of us have a lot of stuff in our houses by the time we are old enough to be thinking about retirement. But some of us keep buying and bringing things into the home, whether it is clothing or decorative items. We cannot continue to spend like that if we don't have a regular paycheck coming in. And a lot of times that is the first place we need to start, is to stop spending like we still have a paycheck coming in 2 weeks. The second one is know what your bare bones break even point is. So many people don't know this. I have asked this question on TikTok before, and it's amazing the answers that I get. People do not know how much money is going out of their household. They don't really know how much they need to make each month to be able to pay those bills, and they just pay them as they come in and just take them at face value. This is what the electric bill is. This is what it usually runs. This is what I have to pay, not thinking that they can make adjustments anywhere that will affect the amount of that bill. And there are lots of things that are within our control, but many people live like these things are not in their control, and they just take them at face value when they get that bill in the mail and say, my electric bill is always $300 to $500. That's just normal. So know what your bare bones break even point is. Know how much money you have to have if you buy nothing extra that month to break even. The third one is to know what is necessary and what is unnecessary. Again, so many of us have gotten used to buying something on a whim or thinking we need something and then quickly ordering it. And then it comes to the door and we don't remember quite what was in that box. And we have to think about what we actually have to make it. Is that something we want? Is that something that would be nice to have? Is that something that our friends have now and we're the only one that doesn't have it? I can tell you right now, there's a lot of things that I do not have that my friends and my kids have, but I have chosen to not spend that extra money because I know I don't have a paycheck coming in 2 weeks. The fourth one is to consider each purchase carefully. Consider whether or not we really need this to better our lives. Consider what the price is. Consider the quality. Consider whether it is something that we can borrow or we can buy used or something that we can repurpose from our house. Consider each purchase carefully because that money is going out and it isn't necessarily coming in. The fifth one is to continue to save in any way that you can. If you have any little small side hustles, or you do some craft fair sales, or you do some online sales, save wherever you can. Don't use that extra money as a windfall and go out and buy some of those things that you've been thinking about. Go ahead and stick it back, because I can guarantee you there is always going to be a plumbing issue or a car issue or something where we're going to wish later that we had that money stuck back. And then we got to figure out how to come up with it. The sixth tip is to conserve any resources that you have. Conserve those utilities. Unplug items that you don't need to have plugged in. Shut things off that are just turned on all the time. Unplug that coffee pot. We don't need to have some of this stuff using up our dollars when our dollars aren't coming in. So conserve wherever you can, whether it's transportation costs and you are lumping some trips together to go once a week, or whether or not it is food costs and you are choosing to shop at a more expensive grocery store versus maybe the budget grocery store. Conserve any resources that you can. There are a lot of things we can stretch in our homes, and once we're home all the time, it becomes more apparent of the things that we can stretch. When we're working all the time, we think, man, it's going to cost us a lot more to stay home all the time. But I actually spend less money staying home than I did going to work. I don't have the transportation gas costs. I don't have the occasional eating out or running to the convenience store costs. I don't have the extra use of the tires on my car and the extra oil changes. And I can make food stretch because I have more time to cook more carefully, use up what I have before it goes bad, bulk cook, and be able to freeze things before they go bad. It's a lot easier to save money when we are home all the time. If we utilize our time wisely, we still have tons of time left over to do what we want to do. The seventh tip is to price compare. Price compare your car insurance, your home insurance, even your groceries. Price compare to get the best deal for your dollar. You will not be sorry that you did this, because these savings, once you price compare and switch over, they are savings every single month based on that bare bones budget we talked about. So if you save a couple hundred a year on your car insurance, that couple hundred is going to help tremendously. So take the time to price compare. The eighth tip is to not do what everyone else is doing. Travel in those off seasons. Check and do things that are free. There are so many things that we can do to still have a wonderful retirement and just not do what everybody else does. Maybe they're going to that concert that is $118 a ticket. Maybe you can go to the event that they have in the park with a free concert. And sometimes they have some name people that we can still go see, even for free, and have a really good time. So before you do what everyone else is doing that is still working, think about whether or not it works for you and whether or not you have some other more affordable options that you will love just as much. Number 9, don't go into retirement with debt. This one is huge. A lot of people still go into retirement still owing money on vehicles or owing money on a house, or thinking, I'm going to go ahead and get this vehicle so it'll last me through retirement, but then they have a $700 or $800 car payment every month. Trust me, if you go into retirement debt free, it gives you so many more options, so much less stress, and you won't be worrying about how you're going to make ends meet month to month. If you are debt free to begin with, you just have your basic needs to meet, and that is plenty. Number 10, Buy affordable options for what your income is and what your savings is. Your savings has to last you, and you know how long it has to last you. Don't go out and buy that dream car and think, oh, wow, I have earned this. I am now 60 and I want to have my dream car and I'm going to have it in retirement. If it's not an affordable option for you, trust me, a car that is older, that is paid off, it can still be a dream car because it can take you all the places you want to go rather than tying you down with a high insurance premium and maybe high maintenance and all of those high things that go with the expensive version of what might get you right where you need to be. Number 11, don't give up on looking for ways to save. Even though we've retired, it doesn't mean our savings ends. It means that we need to save where we can and continue to find more ways to save where we can. Now, this may not sound fun, but I actually find it fun. I find it challenging. I'm in year 3, and I continue to find all the time more ways that I can save money than I did when I was working. And I know that that just guarantees that I'm going to be able to stay retired until my Social Security kicks in. This time needs to be protected if you don't want to go back to work. And saving in small ways ensures that you can not have to go back to work if you don't want to. I follow a lot of retirement Facebook pages, and I saw somebody the other day that said, I have to go back to work and I'm probably going to have to work forever. If that is you, start using some of these tips now to prepare yourself so that you will be financially stable when you decide to put in your notice. So I know this is going to sound crazy, but I am more financially responsible now that I am retired than I have ever been. My credit score is in the 800s. I've never had an 800 credit score in my entire life, and that is in the excellent category. So it is totally possible for you to do better financially in retirement without a paycheck than you were doing with that regular paycheck. And some of these tips help you do just that. Let me know if you have some additional tips, if you are retired, that you want to share with people in the comments below. I know many of you that watch this channel are retired early, and many of you do these things each and every day along with me because we talk about them. Thanks for listening today. Give me a thumbs up if you have found this interesting or helpful, and I hope to see you in the next video.